There were two dreams last night. One involving a cat, and it was going out onto the deck and seeing this cat for 3 days, and seeing the cat do the same thing every day, drinking from the same area, and then standing in the same place and then disappearing, and thinking that the cat wasn't real. And it was injured on the side of its head. It was gray and white, short hair, and then realizing one day that it was a real cat and needing to get it to the vet, and I ran to Safeway past a park where they were playing baseball and stuff, and I was running around to the Safeway trying to find food for the cat, so that, I don't know why it had to be special, but we went there and ended up meeting this man, this boy, this guy who ended up coming along because he was concerned, maybe taken, I don't know. He had curly hair, brown curly hair. It was longer, he was skinnier, he had glasses. And he ended up coming back, and we went to the house and got the cat, and then it was about getting the cat to the vet. I think Cozy came along. It's like we couldn't, go without Cozy, which was weird. I think we walked down to the Finn Hill Medical Hospital, but it was like a journey to get this cat there, and she was so sweet. She was a sweet cat, and she didn't seem like she was in pain or anything like that. And then we got to the vet's, and it was kind of like a secretary desk thing, or I don't know, like post office thing, like where you go up and you look through the window and then there's the office on the inside. And we brought the cat in and it said, here you go. Not here you go, but I'm not the owner, but this cat is injured and she needs help, and I didn't think she was real, and so I didn't bring her earlier. And then they take the cat back, and I told the guy that he could leave, but I got the feeling like he wanted to stay. It was that feeling from the beginning, like it was like a love story, and then so at the end we're supposed to be together, and so he stayed because he wanted to find out what was wrong. And so so we're talking, and then my aunt comes out and says that they didn't want us to worry, but the cat's not going to make it and then it's probably going to die on Father's Day, which is weird because Father's Day already happened. But that they're making her comfortable, and she doesn't have a tongue, and so that makes it harder for her to eat. But she had been eating earlier. I don't know. That part was weird. Where when we were trying to draw her out, and they had put food in the pool, and the cat was trying to drink. No, not drink, but eat the food that had been put in the pool. And it's like, why did you put the food in the pool? Like, she can't eat from the pool. So it was weird. But in any case, so I go in to see her, and it was this really weird thing where it was like a vet hospital, but like the animals are kept like in the depths, like very, very like below ground, and you had to like go through this labyrinth. And going through this labyrinth, there was like this, it was like Emmy Made in Japan, the YouTube lady, and she was saying something about how the cat must not have a tongue because somebody tore it out to fuck it. Oh my god, fucking disturbing. And it was like while we were walking through this labyrinth that was like a freaking like museum of movie costumes, but like for one specific movie, but like a Catholic movie, like a religious movie, like with the Crusades. And Emmy's telling me about how she was, she's the main actress, but the main guy was such an asshole, and he would like accidentally slip and kiss her, and accidentally slip and kiss her breast, and just like everything, just a predator. And then, but they cut those things from the film, and so he's like some great guy, but he's really not. He's like an asshole. And so, like, and it's like super elaborate with all of these different costumes, like all of the like the page costumes, and like the Catholic costumes, like the Pope outfits and the bishop outfits and stuff. And so we get down into this room, and it's so sad, it's so bleak and gray, and there's this cat, and she's, on this table, and, being kept alive, and it's really sad. And, it's like, why are we keeping her alive till Father's Day? Like, if it's really that bad, why aren't we euthanizing her, but just killing her, but like not having her suffer? But I felt so bad because I love this cat. Like, I love this cat thinking about it right now. Like, this dear, sweet cat who had been through so much, but was, willing to, love, give loves, give cuddles, give snugs, and so I didn't feel right leaving her there. But then at some point, it's like I went home, but then she came back. She escaped the hospital because it was just on the street. And she came back. She's still injured, and the hospital called. And it's like, yeah, she's here, and I'm going to keep her here, and if she dies, she dies. But I'm not going to leave her with you in that place. She deserves to be somewhere where she's comfortable. And then it was this weird transition to, like, being at, like, the fucking BuzzFeed office or something like that, and seeing, like, cats and dogs for adoptions, like, in different rooms, like, but not rooms, but, like, cubicles, like, different cubicles and rooms sectioned off. And then, like, everyone was getting really excited for the end of the day and getting ready for the end of the day, and women were like giving tutorials to each other on how to do their eyebrows and put on their lashes. And like, I was really impressed with this one woman who could put on the individual lashes, but she was like one of those mean girls from high school who was kind of like a bitch. about it, but everyone was so stoked, and like you're in there looking at these poor animals, and some of them are like just so fat, like saying that they're like being, rescued from like, you know, a place where they're paid to eat or whatever, like, paid, like but they're like employees, like they're trained, and they're animals, they shouldn't be that. They should just be given love. They should be like my crazy ass cat. But in any case, so it was just like really, really sad. And then, but all of a sudden, you just like you hear this countdown, and it's like New Year's, and you're like, but it was like it's her in office. It was weird. It was like Wall Street or something like that. It was strange. Oh, but there was at one point like we had gone into a theater area, and I think this is with the same BuzzFeed people, and like there was like the screen and everything like that, and maybe like a presentation, but I don't remember that part. But I remember that, when it changed and it was like Wall Street people and everybody was really pumped, and it was like we could leave like right after that. And then it was really weird because like as we were walking, like it was flooding outside, like supremely flooding. But like they had cut access to the buses because the buses people, like, they didn't want to spend money on getting people to and from work anymore. It was too much of an expense, and so people were walking out into this flooding, and it was insane. It wasn't like buses could have done it anyway because they were so deep, but you saw these poor bus drivers like looking around and being so dejected because they wanted to like help these people, and then you saw some of them like trying to grab pedicabs to try and help them, but like the water's like up to your fucking waist, so that's not gonna work. And then they go off looking for like two of the bus drivers who apparently tried the pedicab thing because they're gone and they're disappeared. And all of a sudden, we're in this airplane that, apparently the bus driver has access to an airplane as well. And so we're like going around looking for this pedicab. And then we're passing by this Skate City, Skate City, like just straight up cylindrical, like cement, just, and then like being developed, like there's not much around there. We're looking for the pedicab, but it's all of a sudden drier. It's like there's no. And then we're talking about, like, I think it was kind of like a Doc Brown character from like Back to the Future, and talking about like what will bring people into a park and whatever, and it was like a water park, and like it just needed to be expanded. It was like Water World, but like much bigger and fancier, like these huge tall rides, and like, I mean, I guess kind of in the vein of what it is now, I don't know, but like a little islands, like crazy and like swirly and everything, and they're like, and those parts just need to be developed. And then we're going to different rides and saying like what can be done to this one and how this one's okay as it is and everything like that. And then like being on one of the rides and like taking a tour with these people, and like, oh well, this part was great for the kids because it was $1 for this ride, and like, it was easy to get to, and it was kind of like in the middle of the ocean. It was kind of weird, like, like land wasn't that far away, but these little islands were out in the middle of the ocean, so there was kind of like this element of danger or whatever. And like, so taking this tour, and somehow like at one point it's like the water got too deep to walk in, and I don't know how we like transitioned, but we transitioned underground again, and it was like a weird, like, world that was a part, like it was supposed to be a part of the ride. Well, not the ride, but like the experience, where it was like, a game. Like every place had, had a different challenge that you had to get through, but they were dangerous. It was like Jumanji kind of thing, but like, the room that I remember the most was like the room and where there were animals and everything, like dangerous animals like gorillas and dinosaurs and, everything like that. And it was a room that was just like stacked with things. It was like a maze of dressers and books and luggage and, everything and everything. You didn't know what had what in it. And, you're trying to like escape from these animals and hide, but whatever you're hiding on or, everything like has the potential to have some beast inside of it that could, pop out and be a bad thing. And, you can't hide on top of things because there's this bounty hunter or pelter or whatever, and he would go around and he would try and shoot the animals and try to shoot you. And at this point I was like, fucking Shirley Temple, what? And somebody, like Shirley Temple and somebody, I don't know, but I was like watching Shirley Temple, but maybe I was Shirley Temple, I don't fucking know. But trying to like hide from these animals and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it was like finding an old acting partner from like my first movie, meaning Shirley Temple. But he doesn't remember anything. It's like he doesn't remember anything past a certain age, and like he's sick, and so they find a wig for me so that I look younger and so that he can like protect me, because he'll see me as, this young girl that I used to be. And like it goes okay for a while, and he was saying, what about when you were going to be 19, I was going to give you this black emerald necklace. And trying to say, because, it's because he starts to recognize that I'm older, that she's older, but, like, where is this necklace? But it's because he's dead, it's like he's a ghost, and he doesn't know he's a ghost in this world that we're in, and he's, and then, like, noticing how the eyes are sunken in, and, the face is a little bit more hollow because, that's what happens when you age. And like he gets a little bit angry, but it's kind of resolved in the end, like having a moment of clarity about it, about like how things get older, people get older, times don't change. And then we go into this other room, and it's dark, and it's this woman telling us that I can't use my old tricks, like looking cute and being adorable, anymore, to try and, get through this world, like it's about figuring it out. What the fuck? Like, it's just so, like, fucked up. And so, again, we're in this room that's where it's like a long room that's divided by, like a wall, a waist-high wall, and, with the pillars that go in between them. And so you can see on the other side, but that side's dark. and you know that there's something going on the other side. Like there's beds all around and everything like that. Like it's supposed to be part of this world, but it's like closed off because of this message that this woman is giving us. And so, and then it's like, well, what do you really want? And she said, I need you to find the firework, like that the sun has. And it's so weird. And so we kind of like go back in this world, and it's like it's kind of like reverse. You know, you see us make our journey back through, you know, the room with the animals and the other room and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden it's like, we're in the lobby, and like, who's there? Is it like fucking Edward Norton or something like that? And he's trying to impress somebody, and you know he's not good, and he's like trying to influence other people, and you're trying to say no to that and somehow show people that, like, but with magic, and like, because you know he's killed people. And so you start projecting the faces of the people that he's killed in between these beautiful scenes of the galaxy and the sun, and then flashing the person's face who he's killed, you know, and then he's flashing his own, you know, things with, you know, stars and everything like that. But he's dangerous, and you're not quite sure how to get rid of him, and I'm not even quite sure how we did. But we got out, and like we're transported back to the ride. It was like a squid ride or whatever, and all of a sudden the guy realizes the sun, and trying to figure out where he held the firework, and you know, is not really showing it. And all of a sudden, you know, you drop a ball, I drop a ball, and you ask him to get it, and I can't, does he get it? Does he drop it? It was something like that. And instead of being cute, you're just being a bitch to this guy. Like, you're fired. I don't know. It was like just this thing where it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, you have a job to do. Like, don't be an asshole. Just do it. And he starts pumping on this thing that he had been trying to like tell us about, but you know, like the investors weren't really paying attention or whatever, and he's pumping, and I just kind of like him. It's like, yeah, like blah blah blah, you pump because that's your job, and blah blah blah. And after, you know, like some serious work, like the firework like blows up out of the top of the ride, and it's beautiful. And it's weird because it's like, what the fuck does any of this mean?